Hello, everybody. It is February 2nd. It is Groundhog Day. I'm going to tell you whether or not the groundhog saw his shadow today. I'm going to talk about Punxsutawney Phil. I'm going to talk about another beloved groundhog as well. So stay tuned. You are going to love this.
Help from Paul, help from Paul. Just reach out and ask him. If you need help, if you need a hand, get help. Help from Paul.
It is Groundhog Day. Happy Groundhog Day to everyone on this second day of February 2024. So what happened today? What happened this morning? What did we find out? Well, we found out, according to Punxsutawney Phil, the beloved groundhog from Pennsylvania, that we will not be having 6 more weeks of winter. Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow, which means we are not going to have 6 more weeks of winter. We're going to have an early spring. So now you may be wondering, how accurate is this rodent here? Is Punxsutawney Phil the authority on whether or not we're going to have an early spring? Well, did you know that Punxsutawney Phil is not the only groundhog in the United States who predicts whether or not we will have an early spring or a late winter? There are many others. Now, the one I'm particularly fond of is a groundhog by the name of Buckeye Chuck. Yes, Ohio has his own Punxsutawney Phil, so to speak, and his name is Buckeye Chuck. And Buckeye Chuck agrees with Punxsutawney Phil this year because he also predicted an early spring. He did not see his shadow as well. But the question you may be asking, historically speaking, which one of these rodents is better at his prediction? Well, you might be surprised to know that Buckeye Chuck is better than Punxsutawney Phil. Go figure that, you Pennsylvanians. Buckeye Chuck is right about 80% of the time, while Punxsutawney Phil is correct about 40% of the time. So there you have it. Now you know. Maybe next year you'll pay a little bit more attention to the rodent from Ohio by the name of Buckeye Chuck. Good job, Chuck. Now, many people ask me, being in the pest control industry for as long as I have been, they'll ask me questions in terms of identification, identifying different insects, identifying different rodents, and so forth. For example, what is the difference between a termite and an ant, a winged termite and a winged ant? What's the difference? How do I know the difference? Other people may ask, well, what's the difference between a mole and a vole? And I can explain the differences there. But one question I've been asked recently in light of this great holiday that we celebrate every February 2nd, I've been asked, Paul, what is the difference between a groundhog and a mouse? Well, here I'm going to show you the difference. And then you will know, because you really do need to know the difference, because if you see a furry creature running across your kitchen floor, you will want to know whether or not it is a mouse or a groundhog. And many people may get those confused quite a bit, but I'm going to clear it up for you. Now, as you can see from these pictures, there is a difference between the two animals. You have the groundhog, you see him there, and you see the mouse, you see him there. But at first glance, you may think, well, man, they look exactly the same to me. But guess what? They're not. A groundhog is not like a mouse at all. As you can see from these photos, yeah, they both have fur, and they both have hands, they both have eyeballs. But what you need to do is you take a look, take a very close look, and what you will see, if you look at the mouse, look at his nose, look at his snout. His snout is more triangular compared to that of the groundhog, which has more of an oval appearance. Okay. I'm sure that was helpful for you. So now you will not confuse a groundhog and a mouse. Again, my name is Paul. I'm here to help you. I hope this was helpful to you on this Groundhog Day. Again, happy Groundhog Day, and we will see you next time.
Help from Paul, just reach out.